Hi, welcome to another episode of Beyond Chronic Disease. My name's Wendy Gathercole. I'm your host of the show, and today I have joining me HeatherJoy Campbell from the Happy Demic. Hi, Heather. How are you?
Hello, Wendy. Lovely to see you.
Heather, I'm going to read you a little bio. I had a little technical drama, people, so I've had to write it down. So HeatherJoy is a leading Australian laughter wellbeing practitioner who uses laughter yoga to deliver wellbeing programs in person and online, thank you, COVID, using the power of laughter. She's the founder of the Happy Demic and uses the principles of, is it laughing yoga?
Laughter yoga, that's right.
Laughter yoga.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like you to tell me all about it. What is yoga? So we're laughing already and I don't even know what it's about.
Where do we even start? Oh my, Wendy.
That's a huge question. I'll break it down for you if you like.
Oh, it's okay. Oftentimes I'm asked, and I start with what it isn't.
What is it? Yeah, go.
Well, as soon as you hear the words laughter yoga, people tend to think of lithe, flexible bodies in yoga wear, doing a downward dog and having a good chortle at the same time, or turning themselves into pretzels, holding the asana and twisting themselves. And that's not what laughter yoga is at all. And it's not about telling jokes, and it's not about being a comedian. So that's what it isn't about. Okay. So laughter yoga is a process that was devised by a doctor in India, Madan Kataria, and his yogi wife, Madhuri, in the mid-1990s, about 95. And it combines yoga breath, which is diaphragmatic breathing, clapping, and gentle stretching and playfulness, and intentional belly laughter. So we're not laughing at a joke as an intellectual response. We're laughing as a physical act because we can. And anyone can laugh if they choose to, as long as they're not on oxygen.
I like that. I like how you mentioned it's intentional and it's a choice. Because I think that we need to have that intention in life sometimes, so that we can choose things for our well-being. So I had so in that I was a little bit privy to some laughing therapy, I call it, many years ago, and way outside my comfort zone. I'm thinking, what the heck is laughing therapy? And I've actually written it. I've written a book, Whole Foods of Facts, and in my book it's in under chapter 6, and I've actually written what the heck is laughter therapy, and I was just surprised that there's such a thing out there, which hence my podcast, so that I can give listeners and viewers an insight into other modalities other than doctor visits that if you choose and put that intention into your universe, what you can create with your well-being. So back to you.
What you just mentioned about having the power for ourselves to look after ourselves, I'm not going to call, and no one would be calling, laughter yoga a silver bullet, a cure-all, but it certainly helps to alleviate a lot of things. And when you think about that old saying that laughter is the best medicine, we all feel good when we've had a good belly laugh. Yeah? When was the last time, Wendy, that you had a really good belly laugh?
Yes. Well, it was recently, a couple of days ago, yes. But it was, but when you put it that way too, you can't have a belly laugh and cry at the same time unless you're just about wetting yourself laughing. But so it does. I know myself, when I went through a few of my problems, a few of my unwellness moments, that it was really hard to to laugh at something when you were a little bit down. But then, like you say, when you start, you just feel so good. You know, you just, and your whole body, it's not just your face or your head or what, it's your whole body feels good.
When we laugh as a physical function, so when we allow ourselves to just laugh, and when we're doing laughter yoga, we're not having that little that very quick chortle, social. We are barely laughing for 10, 15, 20 minutes. It's a long time. That's more than any social situation, because this is exercise, the most fun exercise you're going to have. But what happens in that time? We're letting the brain allow us to laugh rather than the mind. So the mind has a little bit of a holiday. We can't, as you said, be worrying. We can't be fearful. We can't be anxious when we are in the throes of laughter. We let that behind. We are in the moment. This is a very loud mindfulness practice, a joyful one. And when we continue it for some minutes, that's when the physiological changes start. And the brain gets the cue to then send messages through the body to release the various neurotransmitters, the hormones in our body that make us feel good, help us relax. And we know this scientifically, that laughter yoga, when it's done for that period, that extensive period, when we're talking extensive, we're talking a few minutes, it can lower our cortisol as a key stress hormone. We've got a beautiful dose being released. Dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. So we're really familiar, most of us, with endorphins when we're exercising. They make us feel good.
Yes.
And they are their nature's painkiller. So when we're in pain, I know it myself. I have some pain issues. And when I practice my laughter yoga, it's not such a big deal. I'm not going to say, hey, it stops it altogether. But my mind isn't focused on the pain, and the endorphins are flowing through my body, so I actually get a bit more movement than I may otherwise have on a bad day when I've got a flare up. Yeah.
And that's excuse me, yes, I love that. Sorry, I've just forgotten what I was going to say, which happens to me every time I have a podcast, but that's okay. I remember. Okay, so stress. When people, when you were talking about that laughing and the pain and so forth, and I think back when I had time, you're a little bit stressed and everything, and you hold that. Everyone holds it differently, but in the shoulders, and then you actually go out with a friend and you have a good laugh and all that. And then by the time you get home, there's no stress anymore. It's all the angst is gone and so forth. And so that's one example what's happened with me. And I guess it could have happened with lots of people. And that's through laughing. And also recently we had a very high intense situation that went on for a few weeks. We were building, we were having to go away, and there was a lot of, like, what you would call stress. And I've actually said to people, I haven't laughed so much in that moment of that 4 or 5 weeks as I have in a long time. But that was it made it so much easier to get through every day, and when people have problems and stress and so forth, it was like I had problems every day, but I'm smiling about it now, even, because it was just hit me with something else, hit me with another one. Like, I'd walk out to the tradesman in the morning, go, what have you got for me today? And it makes it so much better when you can get to that point. It takes a long time. I've chosen a lot of different modalities through my life. So I'm probably at a different point in my life than what someone has that may have just been diagnosed with an illness or something. So this is why I say this, but it does take time to get to this point. But I just, yeah, you just reminded me that I was laughing every day. It was just a stressful day, but it was funny. Like, oh, anyway, carry on.
Sometimes, Wendy, you know, if you don't laugh, you're going to cry. You know that old. That's so true. What research has shown, what you have just shown in what you've just told us, is that while laughter doesn't change those feelings of that stressful situation, the response to it changes.
Yeah.
So shift happens rather than the other SH word.
Yeah. Well, if you want, call it whatever.
So I often liken the benefits of laughter yoga. There are physiological, psychological, and social benefits for well-being. And the physiological are those things like the stress indicator, the stress being turned off. Stress is normal. It's not good when it's chronic.
Yes.
It's not good when it's interfering with somebody who's already dealing with a chronic illness. And hey, one in two of us in Australia are living with a chronic health condition. 1 in 5 with at least 2. So
yeah, it's pretty big, isn't it?
It's pretty big. It's pretty big. And then it's quite normal. I mean, some of those can be mental health issues or lung or heart or whatever. But it's quite normal when you're facing a chronic health condition to also feel anxious about it, or depressed about it, and stressed by it. Yes. And that's not going to help our body either. Yet we're human. So we need to have some way of having a release valve. And laughter yoga for some people is a release valve. It's a tool to use among with the many that you present.
Yes.
The tool that we all have access to because we all can laugh. Just forget we can.
Yes. And that's it. When like I know when I was first I was diagnosed with a chronic disease, it was like it's sort of, you know, first of all it's a bit of shock, and then it's like, well, what is it? And then you sort of research it, and then you've got to live through it, and then so it takes it's a real stepping process to go from that to getting well and mentally well as also, because it does take a big toll on your mental health. So Heather, I would love to know how long would first of all, I would like to say yes, everyone has the capacity to laugh if they choose and they plant that intention. I love those words. So how long would a laughter yoga session go?
So an online laughter session is usually around 30 minutes. An in-person laughter yoga session, so we generally call those clubs. So if someone's doing, you know, a bit of online searching and they look up laughter clubs, that's what we're talking about when we talk about a laughter session for the general population. Okay. And there are online and there are laughter clubs everywhere. I mean, online makes it very accessible. And in Australia, we're coming back after COVID. So they're usually about 45 minutes to an hour, and they will include some guided meditation, some mindful breath work at the end, so that we cap the feel goods in and don't allow ourselves to go a bit hyper. We bring our blood pressure down, bring the heart rate down, but hold on to that wonderful floaty feeling that we have when we're laughing for 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever. But there's also a really neat little tool that we all have. It's called a phone. It's called the photo version. We call it the Laughy. There's been research done overseas that showed that people who take their phone and turn it onto photo mode, onto video mode as a selfie, and then record themselves laughing for 1 minute and save it. Watch it 3 times a day for 7 days. Do it for 7 days. The people were sleeping better. They were feeling more relaxed. They were just feeling more energetic.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Wow.
1 minute.
Wow. Okay.
So there's more research being done. That cohort were well. So more research is being done currently as we speak. But yeah, have a go at the laughy.
The laughy.
Get your phone out, record yourself for 1 minute, watch it a couple of times a day, and repeat the next day for the next 7 days. Just give it a go. It's fun. It's fun, but it's also very helpful. It's that flick switch again.
So you just so the laugh is, it's not an app. Is it an app?
No, it's not an app. It's just, that's what we're calling it as a process.
Oh,
but how about,
okay,
Wendy, how about I talk you through getting in touch with our good vibrations?
Okay.
And so your listeners, those who are tuning in, they can give this one a go as well. So laughter yoga, when we think about laughter, it's really a very big exhalation. It's a breath out. So I'm going to invite you to very gently put your fingers on your throat up here. Yep. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And instead of an exhale, go all the way out until you feel you absolutely have to take a breath in. Here we go.
I took a breath in. I was holding my breath. I'm not very good at this.
But feel the vibrations happening in your throat. That's all
yes,
do.
I heard that.
Feel the vibrations, okay? Yeah. And then, so you've got now we put our hand flat on our chest.
Yep.
And with that one, when you breathe in, as you exhale, go ha 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 all the way out.
Oh, I can feel the vibrate. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, go for it. What you'll also feel is your diaphragm working.
I did.
And then we put our hand on our belly and another breath. And this time you're going ho-ho like Santa Claus. So
okay.
And you'll feel your tummy pushing out. Your diaphragm's working. It's coming from deeper down. The ha-ha, the ho-ho, they're the deeper laughs. They're coming. Your diaphragm is being engaged. And so when we do our laughter exercises, we are engaging those sounds. You've become aware of what's happening in your body. And that's a really critical part of what we're doing. Being aware of what's happening in our body and then accessing our ha-ha and our ho-ho. So we can go ho-ho, ha-ha, ho-ho, ha-ha, ho-ho, and we take our mind off any other thought.
Everything
else. Focusing on that sound. Yeah.
Sorry, I did that really badly.
No,
but I can feel it, and go. You go.
What I was going to say, Wendy, is we all have our own laugh. We all take practice at doing it because whilst it's really natural, it's kind of unnatural. It's kind of weird when we're doing the first little bit of laughter yoga. It is weird. Yeah, it becomes quite relaxed and natural. So one session, oftentimes you might still be a little bit self-conscious, although hopefully you lose it after about 20 minutes. Yeah. And you're likely to feel really good, but as with any exercise, we reap the benefits and we practice it more and more, whether that's the psychological, the mental resilience, or that's the physical, improved immune system, the relaxation, or whether it's that social connection that we're craving, and we're getting that by eyeballing somebody else, if we're in person, or by looking through the camera down at you at the moment. So yeah. And I love that you said the awareness of your body. I'm really into my into being aware of your body, especially my journey of from sickness to well-being, I guess. And I've got another chapter in my book is Know Your Body. It's just a real simplified version, but it's just like I explained it as like,
you sort of know your body to a degree, like you go to the doctor because you've got an abnormal pain, and eventually you get to know your body so that you know what it requires and what it doesn't, I guess. But yes, I love that you say about knowing your body and the way your body works with that, because breath is really important. And I did a podcast a few weeks ago on breath, and there's a book called Breath, and is so fascinating again what how breathing can make you well or unwell the way that you do it. And this gentleman did all these tests and so forth, and it was all darted whatever through the medical center, and it was just amazing. And some of these principles I had been using just because that's the way that I felt better. And yet here it is in a book. So when you talk about, I didn't do that very well, and you talk, I didn't, not you talk about. I didn't.
Put it aside.
Yeah. So once you start doing it, and yes, it's a practice, but then it becomes more like a muscle memory, I guess, or it just comes so natural that you just do it.
And what you also find is once you get into the exercises, which we're not embarking on here, but once you do get into the exercises, while it's an intentional laugh to start with, you're allowing yourself to go, it becomes the real deal.
More natural, yes. Yeah. But it's sort of, you go.
I was going to take you up on, you mentioned your book, and also talk about spring cleaning your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Wendy, I'm sorry, you've been saying, I didn't do that well, I didn't do that well. So we're going to do a bit of spring cleaning of your mind using some mental floss for a moment. Everybody, I'm sure you've all got thoughts that at one time or another have served you, but they're not serving you particularly well today. I know I have. So imagine you've got a piece of floss.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So come with me, Wendy, and let's get our floss out.
Yes, I've got it.
Stick it between our ear holes.
Oh, at
imagination.
Yep.
Hold it taut. Move it from side to side and have a giggle. And you allow yourself to laugh as you just remove those unhelpful thoughts. And you can let that go for as long as you need to let that laughter flow.
Yeah. That's a good idea. I did feel a bit weird because I'm trying to sort of look at myself on the camera and it's not working for me.
I do that one every morning in the bathroom.
Good one. I love that one. Yeah, I was trying to did it work for me?
It's okay.
That's a good one. Oh, so you do that every day?
Yeah, I practice for myself every day, but I'm also delivering for other people, facilitating for others pretty much every day.
So do you lead a laughter club?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tell us all about that one.
Okay. So as well as doing the professional sessions, which can be in workplaces or in aged care, or in the community neighbourhood centres, I do a Wednesday in the park mornings. I live in Redcliffe Peninsula, so that's my Wednesday mornings. A group, and you never know how many people are going to turn up. It's usually about 10 or so. We'll turn up and we'll do 45 minutes to an hour of laughter yoga. And 2 Thursday evenings a month, I have another laughter club at the North Lakes Library, again in the Moreton region of southeastern Queensland. And that one's in the evening, that one's a freebie, and that one's to help people who are finishing work or whatever de-stress and get on with their day. It's like happy hour without the alcohol.
You probably don't need alcohol.
You don't need it, no. Although you might go, yeah. That's what the milkshake laughs.
Oh, good one. So what yes, okay. What else can you tell me about the laughter yoga?
What else do you want to know?
What else do I want to know? I know, I'm putting it all back on you, aren't I? Well, I know laughter's great.
Yeah, it is great. And the thing is, well, with the laughter yoga, the brain doesn't tell the difference between whether we're laughing at something funny or we're laughing because we're allowing ourselves to laugh. It just says, this is my cue. I'm going to allow this person to relax further. That's my cue. Let's do it. So you do. I feel that laughing exercises, laughter yoga, laughter therapy, it's seen as a legitimate complementary therapy in America. Not so in Australia. We're still we haven't got there, but we're seeing it more as a social prescription. We're seeing more people coming to try it because they're feeling stressed, they're feeling disconnected from their world or their community, and they want to boost themselves. It's a bit of a boost juice.
And you know, I think in this day and age, I think that's enough though. Like for people to connect, like you say, you have, you know, maybe at least 10 or more people at your clubs in the park. I mean, and they're laughing, and I mean, sometimes that's just what the basics we need, hey, in our life. Sometimes we don't need all the flash and glam, and getting back to basics is what I'm pretty much all about as well. So yeah, that's a great thing for people to be able to access.
And I think the fact that if people want to try the laughing, anyone can do that.
Yes.
Online laughter clubs, there are social laughter clubs, and asking at a neighbourhood centre, or you know, whatever they have various names, is there laughter yoga? And there may well be a program that they just don't know about. It's about asking the question. There are so many applications for it, and accessible, adaptable. We all can do with a laugh.
And I guess because where we're at in our lives, I guess, Heather, we know about the laughter yoga. I mean, I didn't know too much about the laughter yoga, but the laughter therapy, if you want to call it that. So I know how that can have an impact on your life, but some people don't know that. And I guess that's why, you know, a lot of my reasons for my podcast was to for people to be able to access other therapies out there, complementary therapies that don't impact on any medications or so forth, but they just do or can have a great impact on your body and your body awareness. And I think that's what I really think that's what we need to get people back to, just being more aware of their bodies. And I love that you're doing what you're doing. It's great. It's awesome that you're bringing community together in some way, and you're creating fun in their space.
Oh, thank you, Wendy. You know, but I'm grateful that your podcast is about enabling people to find out about other things, because we know not what we know not.
Yeah.
Ask if we don't know what to ask for.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a real privilege to be on the Happydemic towards wellbeing. You know, I was around. The Happydemic was around before the pandemic, and laughter yoga has been around for more than 20 years. So,
and I think I read that the Indian physician invented it, created it, founded it in about the mid-90s.
95, Dr. Kataria went into a park with his wife and a few friends, and they started telling a joke. And they told the same joke over a few days, and they weren't laughing as much. Yes. And that's really telling, because there's the intellectualization, there's the expectation, there's that we laugh at with humor. And that's when he started to be playful and to create some exercises we still use today, that are play-based exercises.
Yes.
And encouraging ourselves to laugh. And to laugh at ourselves, not take ourselves so seriously. Big thing.
Yes, that's a good one, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And I think because there's so many judgments and expectations that we have in this world and of us, and I guess that's why we take ourselves serious. Oh, well, I don't really take myself that seriously, but that's why we tend to, because of other people's expectations and judgments of us, I guess. So yeah, that's a big thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and at that point, get that mental floss
Yeah,
out again.
mental floss. Get it out. Floss it away.
There you go.
Thanks,
Wendy.
Heather. Have you got any other pointers for the listeners and viewers before we flit away for the day?
I'm just going to reiterate that laughy again. Get your phone out, turn it to
Yes.
video mode on yourself, so it's
Yes.
like selfie. Record yourself going ha 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 for 1 minute, 60 seconds.
Yep.
Save it, watch it again, see how you feel. Laugh with it. Laugh along with it. Try it for a few days, see how it makes you feel.
And
laughter is good medicine.
And thank you. How many times did you say to watch that per day? Was it 3? Did you say
The original research was 3 times a day.
Yes.
So record it once,
yes,
watch it 3 times, and repeat the process for 7 days.
Yes.
So now they're researching it further. But yeah, really good results in just 7 days. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll check out laughter clubs. We just love having people come to laughter clubs online and in person. Yeah.
And the people can find you at the Happy Demic.
The Happy Demic, yep.
Yes.
.com.au, yep.
.com.au. And I'll put all that in, everything in the show notes, even the laughy thing. Laughy in the show notes. I'll put everything in the show notes so that everybody can get a hold of you. And so people, if you want a good laugh for the day and you want a professional to teach you how to do it, HeatherJoy is the lady for that. And you'll find you'll find everything in the show notes. Well, thank you again, Heather. I really appreciate you being on my podcast.
Thank you very much, and happy to help put people in touch anywhere in Australia. I can help by putting you in touch with a laughing professional. Oh, do it online. Have a good day.
Thanks, Heather. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.